Good morning. Kellen here. I want to talk to you today about the difference between motivation and compensation. I'm a coach, and I coach on fitness, business, habits, health, a lot of things. And one of the key aspects of coaching is helping people to develop a clear vision about the things that they want in their life and helping to put some fire behind that clarity so that there's motivation there, and then helping people to put rails in place in order to achieve what they're looking for. But there's so much to the emotional aspects and the ways that we stop ourselves and all of these different things that a coach provides. But the motivation, if somebody doesn't have the motivation to do something, then they don't either need the coach or the coach isn't the right one for them. So it's such an important topic, and there are places where motivation isn't actually coming from a place where it's maybe in our own best interest. It could be coming from a place where it's compensation for something else. And so what do I mean by that? When I talk about compensation, I'm talking about this idea that we're doing something in order to achieve something else so that we have something else so that we can finally be okay, or something like that, right? It's this idea that we need to put on top our conditions on top of things so that things are all right. And believe me, compensation has led to some amazing things in the world, right? There people achieve great things, and sometimes that comes from a place of a deep, a deep, dark place inside where they feel like they need to compensate for themselves or whatever. Right? So I'm not saying that compensation is necessarily a bad thing, but if you're looking for achieving something and actually enjoying the end result, you want to make sure that the motivation that you have isn't coming from a place of this compensation, because we can achieve great things but never be satisfied with it. It's the idea of working super hard to get that promotion and then hating the job that you have when you get there, or trying to make all this money and then realizing that you have no friends and no life and no time, or any of these things, or trying to change yourself so that somebody else will like you, so that you can get validation from them, and then when you get that validation it feels hollow and empty. And that's all because you're compensating for something deep inside that really just needs to be addressed and looked at. And so, sometimes it just takes reminding yourself that you are okay, that you're whole, perfect, just as you are. And that is hard to sit with sometimes. And a lot of people have a lot of trouble with that, but you have to realize that everything's okay. And if you find yourself being motivated by something that I notice it myself in a way where I feel a tightness in my chest. I feel a certain anxiousness. Sometimes that's excitement, right? Sometimes that's something that's yeah, but sometimes it's coming from a place of anxiousness that, I hope this works out, because if it doesn't work out, then I'm not going to be okay. And so I just want you to look at that, look at the difference, of where motivation comes from when you feel clear and open and accepting of the way that things are, and then having a motivation beyond that, versus the place where you're motivated and the only way that something's going to be okay is if you make this change or do this thing. I want to make sure to say that sometimes both are okay, right? But if it's a change, because motivation can sometimes be hard to come by, and if it is, sometimes even if it is that anxious place, it'll give you a push. But for the things that you want to be a long-term change, and that you're making a big commitment to, that's where it's really important to actually feel that difference and know that difference. And so I'd love to hear your thoughts, comments, and ideas on this, and where you see the difference between compensation and motivation. Thanks for your time. Talk soon.